Showtime!
Let me think. So there's a couple things I've just been trying to work on in general, and that is, I guess, in a weird way, and perhaps I might be going about this the wrong way in general, but I've been trying to mess around with the idea of how to maintain not necessarily aggression, but aggressive pressure,
Okay.
while also still being able to play patiently.
Okay.
Because I think that's one of the things I struggle with. Like I know some of the basics on how to play more patiently, just kind of stand back a little bit more and just wait to react to people more in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I struggle to typically whenever I do that, I tend to perform significantly worse because I don't know how to maintain the advantage and the pressure that I do have as well.
Okay. So I'm thinking of two things that we can already go over right away. The first one we talked about was close neutral. I'm pretty sure we talked about that before, like footsies and just trying to stay as close to your opponent as possible. That's one thing. But the other thing I need you to do now, as far as maintaining advantage state, is starting to make reads on panic options, especially out of a juggle. That's going to be the biggest thing. The biggest thing I want you to do is, if you know for a fact, let's say you're going to hit me with something that's not going to combo into anything, typically going to be a combo finisher, like something like back air at high percents, fair at high percents unless you get a drag down. So if you don't get the drag down, dash attack, forward tilt, up smash, stuff like that. Even thunder to an extent, depending on how high percent I am. If I die from it, then that is what it is. But if you're going to hit me with something and you know for sure you can't follow up immediately with something that's actually going to be true, then you want to try and see what I do to get away from your out of your pressure, right? So your pressure could be, or what I could try to do to get out of your pressure would be jump immediately. So like waste my double jump to get away from you, air dodge away from you, or air dodge basically in any direction, just air dodging in general, or try and hit you, right? The number one way to keep your advantage state is to try and make a call out on one of those three options. Some characters have more, like some characters will have like a counter, or they might have like a command grab or something like that, or they might have multiple jumps. For the most part though, most characters have three, right? It's either double jump, air dodge, or attack. So if you're hitting me with, let's say you go for a dash attack, and as soon as you go for a dash attack and you hit me, I air dodge away from you. Right? So if you know I'm going to air dodge, and let's say I'm air dodging because I don't want to go for a dash attack and then jump and catch my jump with a fair, let's say I've done that in the past, as I jump like this to get away from you, you're jumping at me, catching me with fair, and I'm off stage with no jump, right? So if I'm seeing that you're catching me like that, I might start going for air dodges. So for this, what you want to try and do is call out my air dodges, and when I do air dodge, catch me with either an F smash or a re-grab or another dash attack or something to try and continue your advantage state. The idea realistically with advantage state in a juggle situation is you want to try and force me to go either to a platform or go to the ledge, because since you've won neutral, landing on you or landing on the stage is not supposed to be an option, technically. Right? I can try and fight my way down, and I might be successful, but realistically I should be getting punished for trying to land on you or landing in front of you or trying to fight back while you're hitting me. There's a kind of a fine line here too, because there's also overextending, which is almost like a direct counterpart to advantage state, right? To keeping your advantage state. So overextending in some cases, let's say for example, if you go for a dash attack into an immediate fair and I know that that's not going to be a true combo, I can drift away from you, wait for your fair to come out, and then I can hit you with my own fair. Right?
Yeah.
So what you're doing here is you're waiting to see what I like to do as a panic option. If I'm playing super calm and I'm actually waiting for stuff to happen, and let's say I just land in front of you and I do nothing, then you can throw out your F smash and catch me for landing right in front of you. You can go for a grab, you can go for a forward tilt, you can go for like a jump back T jolt and try and keep some safe pressure as far as not hitting super hard. Right? It's in the case of me not doing anything, but if I am going to try to retaliate immediately as far as throwing out Nair, typically going to be someone's fastest attack, right? Typically Nair. If I throw out something like that, you can go for a dash attack, go underneath me and shield, and as soon as I land on your shield with Nair, you can either Nair or shield yourself, go for an up smash, or you can go for a grab, right? Or if you don't want to run under with a shield, as I come down with Nair, you can do two things here. If I come down with Nair, there's a chance I'm going to mash and go for a jab, or I'm going to Nair and then shield, or like maybe Nair then spot dodge, but that's typically going to get me killed. I try and stuff you out rather than just go like this, because if you run up to me and go for like a charge smash attack on a dash or on a spot dodge, I'm probably going to die, or at least take a lot of damage that I shouldn't be taking. But basically, the main thing you want to be looking for is catching me mashing buttons out of hit stun. Right, that's the simplest way of summing it up. Is if I'm going to get hit by something and I'm already buffering an air dodge, if you see that air dodge come out, or you can assume that an air dodge is coming out based on a read, you should know what your follow-up is, rather than saying, I'm going to try and hit him with a fair before he air dodges. If you know it's not going to be true, it's just not going to happen, right? So let me do, I guess, my part of the dance, I guess you could say. If we were to do, in order for you to have a frame trap, or in order for you to catch me doing something as far as going for a nair or an air dodge or whatever, you have to let me do that mistake and then punish me for my end leg. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to try, you know what, let's get out of this game. We'll get out of this game, we'll play all the way through. And I'm going to do the same thing to you. I'm going to try and play a little bit weird as far as my punish is, but I want to try and call out your habits as far as if you're air dodging or double jumping or coming down with a fair or a nair on my shield to try and break a combo. And if you are doing that too much, I'm going to start calling it out and like keep you in disadvantage, because every time you try to reverse me, you're getting reversed, or you're getting stopped, I should say. This is what you're trying to pull off. So right now, right there, I'd say you're going for, like, I guess it's a panic nair. It's kind of a good option to go for anyways, as far as at a shield. But when I got close to your shield after your down smash, I don't even know if you did shield. I think you just went straight for your down smash into a nair. I can call that nair out, right? So if you're trying to mash on me, it doesn't have to necessarily be coming after a down smash. But let's say, for example, right there, you missed that grab, and then you could have shielded, then naired out a shield to stop me from landing on you, right? I could be landing in front of you and going for like a back air to catch your jump, or an up smash underneath you to catch your jump when you nair. Oh no, not like this. Definitely want to see a grab there, right? Even if it's not gonna, actually up throw probably would have killed on the platform too. I know on a tall or a big stage, but still 140 should be dying. So right there, yeah, that's good. So you notice I came down aggressive. You actually just beat me out with your fair anyways, right? But you could have got an F smash if you wanted to. You probably could have got an up tilt. But then on your shield, you could have got a grab, right? Because I came down aggressive.
Yeah, I typically use fair there just because it covers way more options.
Yep, and that's the thing too. In some cases, what can cover more options, it's safer to go for, but you're not always going to get the best return off of it as well. If that makes sense. Sometimes like the safer thing to go for is going to give you a punish in general, I guess you could say, but you could be getting a better extension off of it. If you could have got like a fair drag down, maybe you could have got more off of it, but if you could have got a grab, it definitely would have been better for you. That's another thing too, I was going to say, as far as trying to bait me a little bit more. Notice I use my jump and my movement quite a bit to try and get your habits out. Like when you were in the corner there, I jumped towards you kind of twice, and then I think you did something from the corner, then you went for a nair right after. Then you jumped in, and I caught what you came in with. I did like a drag down nair over your fair, over your dash attack or something. Not exactly sure what move you did, but I was trying to get you to... I was basically trying to just get you to like break your ankles, you could say, like from basketball. Get you leading in the wrong direction, right? And you can do that all the time, and all it really is just a quick head fake or just a quick movement with your character, right? Yeah, something like that even, right? Got you to miss your grab. I didn't get a punish off of it, but I can get you to show me your habits to say, okay, so at this percent, he's trying to get some sort of grab, starting to get me off stage, going for something big, right? Because you don't want me to be alive anymore, obviously. Right? If you could kill me right now, you would. You'd rather do that than fight me for another 40%. Yeah, I think one thing is still kind of happening a little bit, and this is just where advantage state, if you're going to try and push your advantage state or keep your advantage state, is trying to go for more reads. And when you actually, well, let me phrase this, I guess, a little bit better. It's going for reads, but going for reads based on something rather than saying, I feel like you're going to roll here or I feel like you're going to jump. You should be paying attention to every single game that we're playing and saying, in the past, last time the situation happened, this is what you did. So I'm going to try and cover you for doing what you did last time. That's a true read, right? Because there's a read that's based on, like, I think I've talked about this in the past, maybe not with you though. There's reads that are based on what the average population of Smash players would do, and there's reads based on what this person's doing right now, right? So if you see, like, let's say every time you hit me with something, I air dodge in to try and cross you up. The average player probably wouldn't do that. But let's just say that you're seeing that I'm doing that. So you have to adjust your game to say, okay, I'm going to go for a dash attack. Then instead of going for an F smash this way, I'm going to go for an F smash this way. Because I know you're going to air dodge behind me. And when you land in front of me, you're going to get hit. Or you're going to dash towards me. Or let's say you hit me with a dash attack. You turn around and go for a grab. Right? And I'll admit, better players will obviously mix up how they get out of things. So it's not super black and white all the time. But you should still try and pay attention to, okay, at low percents, is this person trying to reverse me to get a combo started? Or are they trying to go for, let's say, just jumping away and repositioning so they can get an edge guard, or something that's maybe a little bit safer than just trying to get like a down air on top of you or a nair on top of you. So I'll say at low percent, just like as a spoiler for my own play style, I guess. At low percent, if you're comboing me, and I see that you're going to go for something that is not true, if I'm anywhere near a platform, I'm going to try and go for a nair drag down to try and reverse you and get an air drag down into either an up tilt or into a grab, right? 95% of the time. So if I go like this, let's say to try and get an air drag down into a grab or whatever, if you see that I'm going to come down like this, you can go for shield, right? And then go for grab, nair, whatever you want. So before I even get a chance to go for my grab, I'm being punished for my nair out of hit stun, right? Or as soon as I nair, let's say if I go for nair into up tilt and I miss right in front of you, that's an F smash, right? If you want. So really try and pay attention to what I'm going to do. And this is also going to change at different percents. This is kind of playing a little bit onto player emotion, or play as far as the players are going to be panicking, or if they're going to be playing super confidently, if they're trying to make a comeback, if they're trying to cheese you. It doesn't really matter. I guess it matters a little bit what the player's like skill level is, but as far as at different percents, if I'm at very, very high percent, I'm not going to try and just reverse you out of nowhere unless I can somehow win the game, right? If I'm at like 130, 140, 150%, I'm not going to try and land on you at all, because you can down smash, up smash, dash attack, up throw, and I'm just going to die, right? So if you know that, you should be expecting either a jump away or an air dodge away in most cases, or even just a drift away, right? But at low percents, I'm going to be playing with a lot more aggression, because if I get hit, I'm going to get comboed, but I'm not going to die, right? So really try and take that into consideration. I'm not sure if that's something you've ever really done as far as what percent I'm at and what I care about. Maybe that's something like, I'm sure that you've done it for yourself. Like if you're at very high percent, you don't play like, I don't know, completely reckless, right? Or you shouldn't be playing completely reckless, right? But the opponent is thinking the same thing too. If I'm at 150%, I'm not going to just run in and start going for grabs. And I'll say this all the time to other players too. If you're at like 150, 160%, and you're trying to get a grab to like, let's say get some sort of combo, it's like, well, if you get the combo, you might put on 30 or 40, but if you miss this grab, you're going to die. So is that worth going for? Not really, unless somehow you just have the read of a lifetime and you know you can do it, and it's a combo that's not affected by rage somehow, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things to take into consideration for sure. But yeah, these are things that are going across both of our minds at the same time, all the time. I'd say, right?
Yeah, I feel like percents and situations are the things that I struggle with the most with making reads on people specifically, because I try to keep in mind like some of the things specifically that people do, like what are the last ledge options that they've done, and what are they failed this ledge option specifically, they're probably not going to go for it again. Let's try and specifically cover something else as like a good example. But I think the thing that messes me up the most on reads is just the fact that people play differently when you're at a different stage in a stock.
Yeah.
And you have to take that into account. You have to take into account how people typically play in order to make general reads off of that as well as just, keeping in mind of things. And I think what you're talking about, like, if I'm going to overextend, to do it off of a read rather than having it be rather than having it be like a default state for aggression.
Yeah.
And knowing when opponents will have a thing. And heck, even if in situations where, I thought that was true, I guess I didn't land that correctly. Oh, good to know, they're probably going to go for that again.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say too, as far as like, let's say the ledge option thing you brought up, if I know for a fact, and this is just like paying attention to a different, to your opponent's character as well. If I know for a fact that you have a throw that can kill me, right? Whether or not it's Pikachu's throw at 150, or somebody else, like let's say it's Pit or Richter, or someone who can kill me with a forward throw, or Greninja or something like that. If I know you can kill me, and let's say I'm at 140, 150%, very strong chance I'm not going to just get up and shield. I feel like that's the freest thing in the world, because if you know I'm scared, the average player would shield right there. So if you just run up and go for a grab and up throw and I just die, it's like, all right, like why would I do that? So if you know that the average person would do that, and you're playing a more experienced player, you shouldn't think that it's going to be so free that you can just go get a grab and kill me. You should be trying to cover either roll or jump. Those are probably the two things I'm probably going to try and go for. Because if you happen to go for a dash grab, if I jump, I can get past that. If I roll, I can get on stage for free. I'd rather not go for a get up attack right here, because let's say, for example, if you're, let's say, one step ahead and you know that I know that your throw could kill me, if I go for a get up attack, it'll stuff out your throw. But if you go for an F smash, you'll destroy my get up attack. Right?
Yeah. Or heck, even if I just dash back or shield.
Yep. So if I go for either of those things, let's say neutral get up into shield, I'm gonna die to an up throw, which is like it's a scrubby thing for me to die to, right? If you kill me from that, that's not your bad, that's my bad. I should know better than to do that against a character that has a kill throw at the ledge at that high of a percent. It should be not that free, right? And same thing with get up attack. I'm asking to get F smashed, right? If I jump like this, I might jump back to try and get some mobility, right? Or I might try and roll, or I might try to go like this to get over top of you and hit you if you happen to try and jump. If I go like this, and let's say you go for an F smash, we both miss each other, right? If I have to re-grab the ledge, then that's going to be a nightmare for me. If I have to roll to get past you, I'm going to wait for a little bit as well. I'm typically going to place my bets that you're going to try and cover something and then go for a hard read like this. Right? If you're dashing back and going for an F smash or whatever it is, you run up to here, then you go back here and go for an up smash. If I wait on the ledge and react to that and give you a chance to show your hand, then I can choose an option that is not going to get me killed, hopefully.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of layers to even, I guess, the emotional state of a fighter too. But the better players will play more patiently. They'll stay on the ledge. They won't pick the same option all the time. Sometimes, and this is where it gets super frustrating for a lot of players, is sometimes the scrub option is the good option. Like I said before, although it would be very stupid of me to believe that you're not going to just run up and grab, so I shouldn't just go up and get up and shield. Sometimes that's the smart thing to do, because since you're going almost too big brain, you do dash back and up smash, or you do jump and go for a fair. And me getting up and shielding, it's like, okay, that was just lucky, realistically. I feel like that would be more attributed to luck. Better players, like top players or even high level players versus high level players, are not going to just, I don't know, go for the scrub option too often, because I feel like the better players are going to call that out. Or if I try and get up into the corner and I do shield, you're not going to just dash attack my shield and then get reversed. You're going to stay in front of me and throw out safe pokes to either reset the ledge trap or try and kill me based on how I get out of the corner, or try to get out of the corner.